And now another vocation story. This young man is one of 14 children and raised in the faith, a parishioner of Our Lady of Czestochowa Parish in Turners Falls. But as many children do, he rebelled. He says the tears and prayers of his mother brought him back to church, where he is another newly ordained Catholic priest. Carolee McGrath returns now and introduces us to Father Luke Demasi.
Friends and family gathered at Our Lady of Czestochowa Church in Turners Falls for a morning weekday mass. Many would agree the day was a miracle in the making for the Demasi family, who witnessed one of their own, Father Luke, celebrate his first mass as a newly ordained priest.
So once I found out that this is for real, that this isn't just like a decoration, that, you know, we don't just like come up here and dress like this. And by the way, I put this on backwards.
In his first homily at the parish he grew up in, Father Luke kept the congregation laughing and crying, talking about how he was by all means the prodigal son who got caught up in the ways of the world. And he also talked about how he went from the party scene to the priesthood.
I say it because there's a lot of mothers that get discouraged for a lot of right reasons, because their kids are disasters. And they get discouraged and they say, like, we've done everything we could to give him what he needs, we've said everything, but he just doesn't listen. Or he's going off the wrong path, he's going like from bad to worse. But your tears give fruit, because I'm fruit of my mother's tears.
The former altar boy at the parish was ordained April 29th at the Cathedral of Alcalá in Spain. He is a priest of the Servants of the Home of the Mother, which was founded in 1990 under the papacy of St. John Paul II. He grew up in Munsonville, New Hampshire. His parents used to drive him and his siblings more than an hour every Sunday to Mass. He later attended Ave Maria University in Southwest Florida. Were you a good kid?
No, not really. I just kind of like got into everything that, you know, usually young adolescents get into. Just, you know, the whole party scene, and like at that age, younger age, like 12, 13 years old, like friends are everything. So for me, like kind of to fit in, I had to kind of get into what everybody else was getting into.
He says when he was in college, the drinking and partying took its toll, and he hit rock bottom. And one day, his mother came to visit.
I just said, you know, let's have coffee. And we went for a cup of coffee, and he's breaking my heart. Oh, my Lord, break my heart. Anyway, so we're having a cup of coffee, and I said, you know, how are you? And I think that for him, that was sort of a moment, because he knows he can't lie to me. He knows he's not good, but he just kind of goes on silent, you know, like that. But he left that, we you know, said goodbye, and he went from there to a church.
Father Charles Di Mascola, now retired, was the pastor of the parish when Father Luke was an altar boy. To put it lightly, Father Charles wasn't expecting Father Luke to become a priest.
Were you surprised that this day came?
Yes. I'll tell you, today is really a sign of God's working, because I didn't trust Luke. He was a juvenile delinquent. He was surly. He was negative. He was unpleasant. And suddenly, he was standing straight. He was handsome. He was pleasant. He was bright. He was a different person. And I thought, well, I've just witnessed a miracle of conversion, a real miracle of conversion. I mean, you hear people talk about that, but this was something that I could physically see.
Father Luke is one of 14 children, which is not unusual at Our Lady of Czestochowa Parish. It's a very pro-life community, and they have big families. Most couples have between 5 and 7 children.
He strengthens you with his power, who lives and reigns forever and ever. Amen.
Many of Father Luke's siblings were sitting right in the front row, and he was able to baptize his niece after Mass, which was a great blessing for all of them. He's now back in Spain, where the 31-year-old is beginning his ministry working with the youth. He encourages families to pray the rosary together, and he encourages parents to keep bringing their children to Mass, even if it seems they're straying.
So Father Charles called you a miracle.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah, when he saw me, when he first heard that I was going to become a priest, he didn't believe it. He thought probably like I was kind of a little bit of a con artist maybe, so maybe it's just like some way of getting... A lot of people didn't believe it. I myself couldn't believe it. But that's the way it works. I mean, he calls and he does. He'll hit you. But I did have to turn to him, you know, so like, but he does that with everybody, and he wants to, and he's dying to. Like, it's not, I mean, I don't have to be an exception as far as, because he's at everybody's heart, he's waiting to get in and just like explode. We just have to kind of give him a little bit of space, let him in.
And he says Jesus will take it from there. Reporting for Reel to Reel in Turners Falls, I'm Carolee McGrath.
And Carolee says that the 31-year-old priest will head back to Spain, where he will begin his ministry working with the youth. The priests and brothers of the Servants of the Home of the Mother have a total of 5 communities in Spain, Italy, and Ecuador.